Hello and welcome to another edition of The Ultimate Leader. My name is Chris Watty and our mission at The Ultimate Leader is to help 1 million business owners lead a life where they love all of it by 2033. Today I am in the beautiful Hawke's Bay, a fabulous wine growing region and also known as the Fruit Bowl of clean green New Zealand. And I am joined by the fabulous Meredith Bell. Meredith, where are you today?
I'm in Virginia and we are having beautiful fall weather here. So I'm enjoying sunshine and not too cold weather yet.
Wonderful. That's great. And look, for those of you who don't know Meredith, Meredith is an expert in workplace communication, and she's the host of the Grow Strong Leaders podcast. Meredith's books and software tools help people impact and improve the way they interact with each other to get work done. And today's topic is how to create a positive work culture with peer coaching. So welcome, Meredith. And
thank you so much, Chris. It's great to be with you.
Great to have you here too. And look, welcome to all of our audience. Look, Meredith, you have a fabulous mission. Would you like to share your mission with our audience today?
Yes, we, like you, want to impact 1 million people through our books, because what we have seen over more than 30 years is that there is a lot of unnecessary pain and suffering in the workplace because people don't know how to communicate effectively with each other. And so our mission is to provide resources in the form of books and our software tools to help people become more effective communicators so they connect at a deeper level and form really strong relationships and therefore get better results.
Fantastic. And I can hear the synergy in what we're both doing in the leadership space. It's awesome. So Meredith, who's your ideal client and what are the kinds of issues that they will be showing?
You know, our ideal clients, Chris, are organizations that already are committed to the development of their people. Because what I have found is it's awfully hard to convince someone they should value people and help them develop. So we like to work with people ideally who already want to help develop their leaders and their individual team members. And so what we are looking for are areas where they still struggle with being as clear in their communications as they could be. And that way we can show them the skills and give them the necessary practice to use those effectively with each other.
Great. So important, isn't it? Like communication is at the heart of just every single thing that we do, even being here today. So look, thank you. And look, what are some of the common mistakes people make, Meredith, when they are trying to solve communication problems? And look, what do you do differently?
Yes. Well, we are no longer doing consulting ourselves. But what we have seen over the years is companies often send people to a training course and think that is enough, that alone is going to somehow, when they get back to work, you know, make them better communicators. What they don't often realize is that, and where we're different, is we understand you have to rewire your brain for a new skill. You've got that pathway already created for the old way of doing things. And that doesn't go away overnight. It requires a lot of practice and repetition. And so what we provide with our tools and our books is this process for people once they go back to the workplace to get support, work with a peer coach where they can support each other in their development, giving feedback, giving encouragement, listening, asking questions, so that over time, that new way of doing things that they learned about actually becomes the way that they do things.
Yeah, so rather than just a one-day training session, you're actually creating positive, lasting change, which you do
Exactly.
over time. Wonderful,
Yes.
wonderful. And look, what's one tip that you could give to our audience listening today that they can implement to help them with communication?
Well, I think there are actually two things they could do in terms of helping themselves, helping other people. One is learning to listen. We all think we're pretty good listeners, but in reality, we're usually just waiting for our turn to talk. And so to set aside my own needs, my own ideas, my own opinion, and just be there, hold space for this person who's trying to share something with me so that they feel understood. So many of our problems in interacting with others are caused by the other person feeling like we don't really care. And when we can demonstrate to them that we care, it goes a long way in deepening a relationship. And there are two things that can also help with that, besides really listening closely, are paying full attention, blocking out not just distractions like your phone or email, but your own thoughts, so that you really can kind of clear your mind and be curious, genuinely curious about this other person. And then also asking questions, because sometimes people think, well, listening means I have to be silent. No, it doesn't. It's actually very interactive. And that's why it's so hard, because you have to be willing to ask questions to clarify, to make sure you really get what someone else is saying. And so you can, in your own words, say, well, it sounds like you're really frustrated. So you're expressing what you're picking up as the feeling that they have. And you're delving a little bit deeper, perhaps, than someone else might have in the past. So you get at what the real issue is for them, what's really important to them. And when people feel understood, it's amazing what that does to build trust, and connection with another human being.
Beautiful. So what I'm hearing, Meredith, as I'm endeavoring to listen deeply to you, is that there's two things. One is to listen intently to everything, not just the words that you're saying, but the message around that. And one of the ways that we can do that really effectively is checking in, just as I'm doing now, asking questions. Did I get it? Is there more? And that is beautiful. Such a simple tool, isn't it? And so incredibly valuable. I just love that. And so, look, Meredith, what's one valuable free resource that you can direct people to that will further help them with their communication?
Well, as a matter of fact, it's about listening. We created a free ebook called Listen Like a Pro that's based on one of the chapters from our book, Connect with Your Team. And so someone reading that one resource will learn a lot about how to be a more effective listener. And so it's called Listen Like a Pro.
And the call to action link for that, Meredith,
is growstrongleaders.com/free.
Beautiful. Wow. I think I'll get that myself. That sounds amazing. Thank you for that. And look, Meredith, can you share a little story of one of your clients with us today?
Yes, I'll share one about a manager of a hotel who used our survey tool to get feedback about his hotel from all the employees, because he was finding that he was having high turnover and people calling in sick. There was just a lot of absenteeism that he knew was not just because people were sick, they were avoiding. And so this survey came back showing that he was the main problem. He had a style that was oppressive, micromanaging, and it was a shock to him and a wake-up call. And so he made a commitment to improve and change. And what was really unique, and hopefully not totally unique, but really different, that some leaders won't do, is he went before all the employees and let them know about the results of this and the action he was going to take. So he committed publicly to make changes, and he worked with a coach to help him do that. And 6 months later, that coach was actually coming into the building and felt the change. And in talking to the employees, they were, singing her praises, but also singing his praises about how he had really made an effort to change. And so to me, and the really powerful thing that I know you'll appreciate because of working with both families and folks in the workplace, his family life improved. Because when you improve these communication skills, you don't just change in isolation. You're a whole human being, as you well know. And so this had an effect on all his relationships. So that was a very profound and important transformation that really reinforces this idea of practice over time, getting feedback, because he would ask people, how am I doing?
Yes.
And so he would continue learning from that. He was not afraid of the truth because he was really committed to making those changes that would make it a more really pleasurable place to work, where people felt free to be productive.
Great story, Meredith. That is awesome. So, this process that you use, simple listening, asking questions, getting feedback, that actually is producing a measurable result in the workplace. A profound difference that you can even feel in the workplace within 6 months or so. Beautiful. That's amazing. Look, Meredith, the final question that I'd like to ask you is, look, what's the one question that I should have asked you that will give great value to our audience today? And of course, the answer too.
It has to do with, how can you show appreciation to others? Because I think that when we express appreciation to other people, or even feel appreciation towards them, we do two things. We elevate them in our own mind, their value in our mind. We also convey that to them. And so before we have a conversation with someone that maybe we have a experience in the past of friction or tension, if we can think about, before we speak to them, what are the things I do value about this person? Then the whole attitude that we bring to that interaction when we speak to them, they are going to feel the difference in our attitude towards them, and they will respond differently to us. And so that would be, to me, a key takeaway. Think about how you can value someone else in your own mind, and not saying necessarily to them, I value you or I appreciate you, but just the way you treat them conveys that to them. And what happens is then they increase their value in their own mind, and you both have this elevated relationship that wasn't possible before.
Wow, I love that. So Meredith, what I'm hearing is you're coming from that place of appreciation. Even in your mind, it might not even be spoken, that place of appreciation and love, not from that place of fear and constriction. Wow, that is amazing. Thank you so much, Meredith. This has been amazing. And look, just finally, that call to action link again for anyone listening is growstrongleaders.com/free. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Thank you, Chris.